I see you're at it again.
Am I that predictable?
That stance. It's called nothingness, right? A clear state of mind and all that.
Does it look meditative or something? I wish it was, but really it's the exact opposite. It brings out all my negative thoughts. My hatred, my doubts, my ego, my anger. I take up my sword to cut myself free of such wrongful emotions. At least, that's what I used to think. But that's just not possible, is it? Not for anyone. Hell, even if I could let go of that part of myself, I'm not sure I'd want to.
Because if you let go of your desire to kill Shigure, you'd lose your purpose in life?
My spiteful thoughts, my wrongful feelings, my pride, my inner contradictions. All these are parts of who I am. Through practice, I learned to embrace who I am, the good and the bad, and become the swordsman only I can be. That's the only way I will achieve what cannot be done. Defeating Shigure.
And Shigure. He's already at peace with his inner self.
Exactly. And so are you.
You really think so?
I do. That's why I will never give up. Besides, I still need to repay my debt to you.
Well, I look forward to seeing the final results. That's for sure.
They're quite the crew, aren't they?
Were all those accidents truly caused by your power?
Yeah. I've been searching far and wide for a way to lift the Reaper's curse. But when I couldn't find a single thread to follow on this continent, I turned my eyes to the other side of the ocean.
And that's why you boarded this ship.
And a fine ship she is. The Von Eltia was built from 1,000-year-old wood, you know. Before I found my coin, she was my vessel. But then the accidents came.
And then Ifrid stole the ship. Did he know you were on board?
Definitely. He had pretty solid resonance going for him. Although at first, I think he assumed I was just a dour-eyed lubber worthy of little notice.
I suppose being a Reaper tends to take its toll like that.
No argument there. But still, whether they could see me or not, they didn't act any differently at all. I fought my damn curse with everything I had. And Ifrid and his crew fought right along with me. Hell, we even finally made it to the far continent.
And you didn't find anything there? To help with your curse?
I didn't even look.
But that's why you went there, isn't it?
Eventually, I just got tired of fighting back. The crew, they taught me how to feel alive. And the joy of pursuing my dreams alongside good friends.
Well, this turned out to be a pretty lively memorial.
To death, we are as equals. It comes to us all. There's no reason to treat it as something special.
Exactly. And besides, we're all pirates here. Wherever we sail, death is always lurking beneath the waves.
You're all prepared for it.
Of course we are.
Aizen, would you mind if I said a prayer for Ifrid?
You would? He's the most terrible villain in 100 years.
That's true, but I just...
What if you prayed for Aizen's friends instead? I don't think there'd be a problem with that.
Okay. Is it alright if I pray for your friends instead, Aizen?
I'm not stopping you. Captain, I was more enriched by the days I spent sailing with you than the centuries I roamed in search of something to end my curse. Thanks for the fun, Ifrid.
A demon that devours other demons and gets more brutal. That sounds like venomization.
If it's bringing in other demons just to eat them, then yeah. I'd bet it's acting on instinct.
Trying to live and be strong, even if that means eating its fellow demons. Why, that's positively alluring.
And how is that exactly?
You know how when it's late at night and you just know you shouldn't have that snack, but there it is and it's so tempting?
If it's been at this for a while, I bet it'll make for a pretty tough opponent.
Yeah, and if Velvet devoured it, she might become a lot stronger.
It sounds dangerous to me.
To feed or not to feed? That is the question.
I don't know how, but we managed to beat it. It devoured other demons purely by instinct. Sounds kind of like me, doesn't it?
So you've eaten a few cows, or demons, whatever. When you're hungry, you eat. The only ones who put any moral weight on it are humans. Personally, I wouldn't sweat it too much.
What are you trying to say? It's fine. I don't really care if I'm seen as a bad guy.
I don't really know how to put it, but I sensed a kind of strength inside that demon. Like a determination to continue living. It was powerful and frightening, but I don't think it was bad.
Figures. I think I've finally gotten used to it.
Used to what?
Your powers. I think I've finally got a handle on them in a way that feels right.
That's good. Hopefully you won't faint anymore.
Yeah, and I'll keep learning too. I hope we can make this work out.
Yeah, definitely. Fingers crossed. What's wrong?
Nothing.
Hey! When you and Eleanor made your pact together, she gave you a true name, right? Was it a good one?
True name? What's that?
It's a special name in the ancient tongue given to a Moloch as a necessary step in forming a pact with a human. I gave Bienfu the name Fushi Cass. It means thing.
That's pretty messed up.
It's just my own little way of showing affection.
So what kind of name did you get, Laphicet? What's the matter? She didn't give you a really weird name like Magilou gave Bienfu, did she? If you're not happy with it, I can talk to Eleanor about it later. So go on and tell me.
I'm fine with it. And I can't tell you anyway.
Well, you don't have to get so worked up about it.
A true name is not something a Moloch just casually divulges to others. They carry a special meaning to us. Speaking it to anyone other than our Pact Keeper carries a special meaning. Between comrades, it means we trust them with our lives. In other cases, it's
Practically a confession of love!
You could have said something sooner, you know.
Laphicet's at a delicate age. You should be more careful in the future.
Oh, really? It's just another way of showing affection.
What was that about, Aizen?
You know something about that treasure chest, don't you?
I think it probably drifted here from the far continent.
Wow, really?
What makes you say that?
It sounds just like something I saw when I was there.
Oh, do go on. I'm all ears.
Let's go give it a look. If we really can't get it to open, I'll cut right through it.
That won't be necessary. I know how to open it. In fact, Eifried was the one who figured it out.
Now I get it. Is that where he found...
Yeah, that's where he found Siegfried.
If that's true, I'd hate to let the Abbey or the Bloodwings get their hands on whatever's inside. Off to Manon we go.
What? That's all it took? Talk about anticlimactic.
I didn't know the ship's name came from the far continent.
Yeah, an engineer who helped design the ship was familiar with technology from there. He probably supplied the name, and by that bizarre twist of fate, Siegfried came into Eifried's hands.
So what's inside? Anything interesting?
It's a book.
Ugh, that's so lame. You're killing me here.
It's really old, but it's written in a language I can read. It's titled Research Notes on Siegfried and Its Special Abilities.
Wait, so it's like a manual for using Siegfried?
Yeah. Some of it's missing, but I'm pretty sure.
Another twist of fate!
Fee, keep going. Let's hear more.
Believed to be a relic from the Avarost period, Siegfried utilizes an embedded formula to enable its wielder to manipulate mana. The commonly held belief is that Siegfried can alter, and thereby amplify, the mana of its host. But this is only its most basic capability, which is utilized to initiate and control its true functions.
Its true functions? Does that mean it can do more?
It looks that way. Our analysis suggests that Siegfried was originally created as a specialized anti-dragon weapon.
Oh my, the plot thickens.
To that end, Siegfried can fire volitional bullets that bestow certain special effects upon its targets. These bullets, made from crystallized mana, can cause disabilities depending on the intent with which they have been imbued. Known bullet varieties include one that can sever power links, and one capable of temporarily blocking out the influence of malevolence.
Bullets that block malevolence, huh?
Does it say where these bullets are?
No. Sorry, the rest is too worn to read.
That's all right.
We can't be sure if it's true or not, but it sounds plausible at least.
Eisen, how about we go looking for those bullets?
No, I have no need for them.
But if you had them, you could...
I have other things I need to worry about. And anyway, Siegfried belongs to Zavid now. Laphicet, next time you see him, I want you to tell him what you read.
Are you sure?
Please. I have a feeling he'll track those bullets down, even if he has to cross the whole world looking for them.
All right, I'll tell him. I promise.
Lo, is this another twist of fate in the making? But how, oh how will it turn out?
Can't you be serious just once in your life?
I think she's just saying Eisen's doing the right thing, in her own weird way. And it's true that nobody knows what the future holds.
That's for sure. And I like it that way.
Do you really mean that?
I do. It would be pretty boring to know everything that's coming, don't you think?
That's fair.
It opened! It opened! Good job, Kamawana!
All right, so what's inside?
Don't you remember? It's supposed to be a secret.
It's one of my mom's recipes. She wrote it down for me so that I could fix it myself when I got older.
That sounds like something really precious. Are you sure you want to share it with us?
Uh-huh. It's supposed to be a secret between me and my mom, but you all saved me when I needed you, and I really want to thank you, so it's okay. Thanks, everyone.
You're welcome, Kamawana.
It's a recipe for mabo curry that my mom came up with just for me. It's the best in the whole wide world!
It looks delicious!
You better have some too, Velvet. You go out there and win. Medissa and me will be cheering you on.
Yeah, I won't back down. I promise.
Hey, teacher. You managed to decipher what the ancient book had to say about Inominat's awakening, didn't you?
Right after we escaped from Titania, yes. I'm just sorry it wasn't of much use to you.
Oh, come on, Grim. I'd say it turned out all right.
That's not for you to decide.
You're not seriously blaming Grim for all that.
No, I'm not. But I'd still like to know anything more specific about Inominat.
Please, tell us what you've learned.
All right? What Inominat needs to fully awaken isn't a large quantity of malevolence, but rather the quality of it, in 8 types. Specifically, he needs despair, hatred, greed, conceit, lust, obsession, cowardice, and selfishness.
If each was assigned to a single Therian, then Velvet would be hatred and Kamawana greed, right?
Medissa would be conceit. Teresa is lust. And Orthrus, obsession?
And cowardice for Griffin. That leaves the Rhino Stagros with selfishness.
But Artorius was trying to steal despair from me. How does that fit in? 8 types of malevolence and only 7 Therians. It definitely doesn't add up. Whatever the case, it seems obtaining this 8th malevolence is the final obstacle before Inominat's full awakening.
I see. That would certainly explain Artorius' behavior. His plan was to foster profound hatred within Velvet, before plunging her into despair.
And he used her brother to do it.
If that's true, gathering all the Therians served a greater purpose. Right now, the Abbey has no means to collect despair.
But with Teresa dead, shouldn't a new Therian have taken her place?
Yeah, but after we killed her, the Abbey still went out of their way to try to capture me. That must mean they haven't been able to secure the new Therian. And even if they did, it wouldn't have despair.
That's a good point. Artorias spent 3 long years trying to foster the despair within you. If that is indeed the specific type of malevolence Inominet needs, it must not be something one can find overnight.
Right. We need to attack while there's still time.
Indeed. Yet,
Is something troubling you?
yes. It comes down to the very idea of quality where malevolence is concerned. When you talk about the relative quality of something, what you're really talking about is its purity. That would mean that Therians pick out and devour this pure malevolence.
Yeah.
But malevolence by its very nature is impure. Therefore, for some person or creature to become a Therian, they'd need to be responsive to a purity of impurity. Surely few could ever meet such a stringent criterion.
So we don't need to worry so much?
Oh, but I think I know someone who fits that description. Perhaps a certain succession of top exorcists who have tried to suppress and purify the spread of malevolence.
You don't mean...
It's just a concern. For now, at least.
Hey, Rokurou, how'd the showdown with your brother turn out?
I killed him. But I couldn't break Stormhowl.
Is that because Stormhowl was an even stronger sword than Kuragane's?
No. Even with Shigure's full strength behind it, Stormhowl didn't even leave a nick in Kurogane's blade. If I didn't have this sword, I'd be dead now. I think I just couldn't break Stormhowl because I'm still too inexperienced.
But you won the match, didn't you?
Yeah, but only by combining my techniques with Kurogane's craftsmanship.
If that's the case, then as long as you're wielding it, that sword is Stormquell. After all, Kuragane's sword did quell the Godblade's raging storm.
Do you think Kurogane would agree?
Are you kidding? You know how stubborn that guy is. He'd just say he'd forge something even stronger the next time. And that's why I say you shouldn't be satisfied with how you are either, Rokurou.
I know. I'll find even stronger opponents to cut down. By my hand, Kurogane's Stormquell will become even more legendary than Stormhowl ever was.
That's the spirit. Show him what we demons can do.
Hey, Velvet. Do the demons you kill turn back into humans?
Huh? What are you talking about?
Remember the demon that attacked us near the coast? When it died, it turned back into a human. Every demon I've killed has stayed a demon. So I was just wondering what was different.
Do demons stay demons when they die? But what about Nico and the villagers I killed?
Maybe it's just a case-by-case sort of thing.
Who cares? A corpse is a corpse, whether it's human or demon.
Yeah. I guess being human again doesn't help much if you're already dead.
Exactly. All that matters is that the demons I devour make me stronger. Nothing more.
Laffy said, "Can I ask you a bit of an awkward question? What kind of demon would you say Velvet is?"
Well...
Oh, don't worry. I'm not trying to find a vulnerability or anything. I'm only asking out of curiosity.
It's not that I doubt you, Eleanor. I just don't know much about her myself.
You've fought against her, haven't you? She consumes her enemies with her left hand and claims their power. She's a demon like absolutely no other. Plunk just about any demon down in front of her, and I bet she could devour it in a single gulp.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty much true. Sometimes demons that she doesn't entirely devour turn human again, but...
What? You've seen demons turn back into humans?
Is it that big of a deal?
Of course it is! Everyone knows that once you catch demon blight, that's it. There's no turning back. Although, I did see it happen with the High Priest Gideon. I wonder if there's some kind of connection.
Not that it matters if he turned back, demon or not, he's dead either way.
Whatever it is, it's of no concern to a pirate.
If I were you, I wouldn't worry about what's normal. If things were normal, we wouldn't have found each other.
You have a point.
Sorry I couldn't help, Eleanor.
No, you didn't do anything wrong. But I need to keep digging until I find out more about the kind of demon Velvet is.
So it turns out that Velvet is a Therian who consumes malevolence.
And too much malevolence is what changes people into demons. Strong enough malevolence can persist after the person who created it dies, turning their corpse or spirit into a raging monster. That's how undead and phantom demons come about.
Then the demons Velvet killed turned back into humans because she devoured their malevolence.
Yeah, and consequently, they avoided becoming undead or anything like that.
So she saved them. Well, I mean, a corpse is a corpse, of course.
Do you think she could devour only the malevolence and turn a living demon human again?
Unfortunately, that's impossible due to malevolence's self-reinforcing nature. When Therians are connected to Inominat through an Earth Pulse point, they seem to be able to absorb small concentrations of malevolence from the surrounding area and inhibit the creation of new demons. But any human who builds up enough malevolence to turn into a demon will keep producing malevolence as long as they live.
That's right. To devour any malevolence, I need to cut it off at the source. That's how my powers work.
Velvet, I'm sorry.
I don't mind it. Actually, I find it convenient. This way, I'll never forget my hatred for Artorias.
Plus, as long as you stay away from an Earth Pulse point, you get to keep the power of any malevolence you consume.
Fuel for my hatred, yes.
Using Malakim for their own ends. Is there no line they won't cross?
I hope you're not thinking of doing anything unnecessary.
Oh, like what?
Like thinking about bringing mercy to a broken Moloch.
What I think is necessary and what actions I take are for me to decide.
Eisen!
That exorcist said they were using the Moloch to get data on a new Moloch art. If it were complete, they could use it against us. Stopping that wouldn't be a waste of our time, would it?
You think you know just what to say to me, don't you?
I'm just stating the truth.
Just so we're clear, we're not going to rescue it.
No argument here.
So what? They were trying to make an enormous bovine Moloch? Was that the best the Abbey could think up?
As if robbing our free will wasn't enough. Now they're trying to reshape Malakim.
I'm so sorry, Eisen. What they did here was terrible.
I don't really care about the callous experimentation. If the Malakim participated by their own free will, then sure, that's their choice. But this one had its free will locked away and was used and discarded like a mere tool. That's what I can never forgive. And the Abbey is treating countless Malakim the same way.
Sounds like this has gotten you all fired up. Maybe I'm glad we came here.
Oh, believe me, I've been fired up for a good long time. Ever since I decided how I want to live my life.
I'm sorry I talked about your past behind your back. It wasn't my place to say.
It doesn't bother me. You were talking about Magilanica, and Magilanica might as well be dead.
But while we're on the subject, may I ask just one question? It wasn't failing to hold up against Melchior's art that broke your spirit, was it? It was when you realized that he no longer considered you his daughter.
Who can say? I've left my life as Magilanica behind me. I'm not her anymore. I'm the evil witch Magilu who fights alongside the Lord of Calamity!
Well, wherever you go, Miss Magilu, I'll follow you as long as I live!
Well now, Bienfu, you think you can get away with talking about me behind my back?
Huh? Why do you only care that I did it? What about the others?
Yours is not to question.
How could I forget how mean you are?
I'm glad you finally found a place where you can belong.
What is this thing?
That's a special mass of mana. Think of them as the souls belonging to a family of Malakim. They appeared all over after the Advent 3 years ago.
Another after effect of the Advent.
If you collect enough of them, you might be able to solicit the cooperation of a Moloch family.
And I'm supposed to take your word for it?
I'm not forcing you to do anything. Whether you collect them or not is up to you.
I might as well pick them up. I'll use every tool at my disposal.
Indeed. You'll have to if you want your revenge.
Wow, so this is Cat's Corner.
I'd never have guessed a place like this existed.
What an adorable little hamlet. You can feel your motivation to get stuff done just floating away.
And look at all the cats!
It's so peaceful here. Kinda makes me want to sit down for a big feast.
Look, over there. Is that the cat's pajamas? I've heard stories.
Oh no! Velvet, don't tell me you're...
Are you allergic to cats?
That's why I didn't want to come here.
Are you gonna be okay, Velvet?
Of course, it's not. Eisen told us to come see you. What's all this about a scouting ship?
We're going to explore the outer seas. Oh, let me explain. Beyond the reaches of our kingdom lie vast, open oceans we call the outer seas.
And you're going to explore them? What for?
To make a map of the whole world, of course.
A map of the whole world.
That's right. Ifrit's pirates have many ambitions, one of which is the creation of a complete map describing the whole world. In fact, the Von Eltius already sailed all the way to the far continent for that very reason.
That's amazing.
You guys sure dream big.
I still don't get it.
Yeah, me neither. A map of a bunch of places nobody cares about? Big deal.
Well, regardless, if we're going to find anything in the vast waters, we'll need a lot of luck. We'd like to borrow some of yours.
And just how do you plan on doing that?
I want you to use your gut instincts to tell us where to look. In exchange, the Von Eltia will be at your service. And you can keep anything we find in our explorations. You'll be able to assign us new orders from any location by using a kind of messenger bird called a sylph jay.
Who knows? We might even come across some good treasure. Or maybe some rare food. Or brand new recipes.
That's a lot of treasure you could find.
Doesn't sound bad to me. It won't take much of our time, and besides, it could be interesting.
You're right. Okay, as long as I'm not responsible for how things turn out, I guess I can help.
All right, then I'll tell you what you need to know.
The map's getting filled in little by little.
There's still a long way to go. It's a big world out there.
Yeah, that's true.
And a lot can happen on the waves. The far seas are unexplored territory for a reason.
I'd imagine so. The seasons and the weather can change the sea completely.
Oh. Do I sense a budding interest in the sea?
Think you're feeling less apathetic about it now?
I wouldn't say that. I was just reminded of something someone once said to me.
The exploration of the outer seas is going super well.
Yeah. It's all thanks to you guys chipping in.
Oh, we haven't done all that much.
Well, don't rest on your laurels just yet. Worse things happen at sea, you know. The scouting ship could always get eaten by some giant tentacled horror from the deeps.
Danger's a part of the job. Besides, Ifrit's pirates are all about venturing into the unknown.
I wonder what's still hidden out there for us to find.
Terror Island, for one thing. According to ancient legends, it's an island that moves across the outer seas like a ship.
Really? I've never heard of an island like that.
Nobody knows if it's real or not, which is exactly why we have to try and find it ourselves.
Awesome! I can't wait to get to the bottom of this.
Don't get too excited just yet, kiddo. It's good to have enthusiasm and all, but I bet this place is called Terror Island for a reason.
I'm not too worried. Like Eisen said, challenging the unknown is what Ifrit's pirates do, no matter what the risk.
Looks like you've caught the bug too.
Ha, looks like it.
The map's really getting filled out now.
You seem really happy, Laphicet.
Yeah, you just had a big old grin on your face.
Well, yeah, of course. Surely even you have some times when you can't help but smile. Right, Velvet?
I never thought about it. You know, I guess I do. Like when I managed to get the kitchen and the dishes sparkling and spotless.
Oh, I know that feeling. I feel that way when I get the bathtub scrubbed so clean that it's as good as new.
Definitely. Oh, and when I finish hanging a huge load of laundry out to dry on a beautiful sunny day.
Could you not compare this to doing chores?
The scouting vessel just contacted us. They say they found Terror Island.
Terror Island? What kind of place is that?
Eisen was talking about it earlier. It apparently moves around.
It's the damnedest thing. Legends say it's roamed the outer seas since time immemorial. They say it absorbs power from all of existence.
That sounds like it might be connected to Inominat.
We won't know anything more until we go there ourselves. First, we should join up with the crew at the docks in Isolt.
We did it! We completely filled in the world map!
That took a lot of work.
Nicely done. It's a good start, at least.
A good start? You mean there's more?
It's true that we completely explored the outer seas that surround Midgand, but for all we know, a whole new ocean might be waiting on the other side of the far continent, and we've only searched the surface of the outer seas. Who knows what sleeps beneath its waters?
I guess an explorer's job is never done.
Is that a hint of greed I detect? I thought Malakim were above all that.
You guys have lost me again.
Well, Malakim can live for thousands of years. I'm sure you'll finish your map one day.
Assuming you don't become a dragon first.
If that happens, it happens. What matters most isn't that you make your dreams come true. It's
that you pursue them alongside your friends, right?
Oh, look at you, kiddo. You stole Eisen's line right out from under him.
Oh, sorry, Eisen.
Don't worry about it. I really enjoyed making this map with you guys.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know how far I'll be able to go, but it's always about the journey, not the destination.
Oh yeah, the guy at that weapon shop gave me some booze for the trip. I nearly forgot about it.
You really think it's a good idea to drink when we've got demons to fight?
A little drink'll warm me up.
I thought you couldn't feel the cold.
That's true, I suppose. Well, I'm not drinking it anyway. I'm using it for something.
Like what? Got some wounds to clean?
That's one use for it, sure. But I've got something more practical in mind. By pouring it on the pegs that hold the blade and hilt together, the wood will swell and hold everything firmly in place in battle.
You've got such a one-track mind, I swear.
That's just the kind of demon I am.
Hey, Bienfu? I was wondering if I could talk to you about something that's on my mind.
I figured it was just about the time that you and I had the talk, actually. I've seen it all, heard it all, and even tasted it all in my time as a Moloch. Ask me anything you want.
Thanks. I was hoping you could let me borrow those books you were reading earlier, if that's okay.
You mean how to talk a human female into becoming your vessel, and how to get the cuties?
Hey! Keep it down! Keep it down!
But you and Madame Eleanor have already formed a pact. Why do you still need either of those books?
Well, it's like when we're alone together, things get so awkward. It's hard to talk with her, you know?
That happens a lot with Malachiman vessels who are still new to the whole thing. I've been there. In that case, I've got an even better book for you.
Whoa! You read a lot of books.
I'm just an avid learner is all. Now let's see. Oh, here we go. Hot Spring Topics, bearing your body and your soul. Being upfront and honest is always the best policy.
I don't think we'll be bathing in any hot springs together. Do you have anything else?
All right, then how about after bath party games, dropping your defenses and your towels?
Why do you keep trying to get us naked? I think that would just make things even more awkward.
Picky. Tell you what, you can just look at my collection and pick whatever sounds good.
Love hacking, living long and loving hard, diary of a diary thief, hands speak louder than words.
All classics. I remember reading them when Miss Magilu and I were struggling to get along. Oh, to be young again.
You ever think maybe things would have been easier if you never read these books?
Reading the mood. Knowing what to say and how to say it. That one's a winner. A must-read for sure.
Are you two reading something together?
We are. Laphicet's been worried about that awkward distance between you two, and he came to me for some advice. I've heard his side of the story, so let's you and I grab some tea and talk about what to do about it. Come on! Let's go!
Oh, okay.
Knowing what to say and how to say it. I don't think this will help either.
Oh, hey, Laphicet. I just fixed up some dashi stew. Mind giving it a taste and telling me what you think?
Sure, it looks good. Don't mind if I do.
So, how is it?
Well, the mochi pouch is really hard.
Yeah, isn't it?
Actually, everything in it was hard. The radish, the fish cake, the beef, the octopus, everything. Is that how you normally like it?
Heavens, no! Dashi stew is supposed to practically melt in your mouth. I must have done something wrong. But I don't get it. All you do is stick the ingredients in the dashi broth and let it simmer. Anyone can do that. I let it all simmer for a good long time and everything is still hard. Even the sticky rice. How does that happen?
Yeah. I wonder where it went wrong.
It's probably the konjac. It can make the meat and the radish harden up and prevent the mochi from getting soft. What you need to do is parboil the konjac in a separate pot, and then add it into the stew when it's almost done simmering.
Huh. I didn't know it mattered how you put everything together. Is that why the burdock roots turned green too?
Got it in one. It's the same thing that can turn the water pink when you blanch green beans.
Wow, I'd never have guessed. But there's just something so satisfying about throwing everything in as one big heap. It can be hard to resist sometimes.
I understand the feeling. One time, I caught a grasshopper and a praying mantis and got so excited, I put them both inside my bag together.
Let me guess. The grasshopper didn't make it.
No, it did not.
Well, let that be a lesson. Mistakes are okay so long as we learn and grow from them. Huh. I never pegged you as a bad cook, Eisen. What happened?
The Reaper's curse strikes again!
Don't tell me that the curse even affects your own cooking.
Afraid so. If I try to flip meat in a pan, it rights itself in the air and lands square back on the cook's side.
Does that happen with everything you try to flip? What about pancakes?
There's a certain beauty in the dichotomy of golden yellow and dark brown.
And omelets, too?
Eggs are pretty much a no-go.
No eggs over easy. Ouch.
I can't even make mini pizzas.
Wait, but you don't have to flip anything to make those.
If I'm not careful with how I carry them, they end up face down on the floor.
Wow, I'm so sorry.
What a stubborn little curse you carry around.
Just use a spatula.
No, I still have my pride.